Now, I built a six-figure agency starting from complete zero. No money, no shortcuts, no experience. And before I found this model, I tried everything. Drop shipping, trading, Amazon FBA, reselling, every single one failed. So I'm gonna rank every online business a Muslim can actually start in 2026, and from the ones that will waste your time all the way to the one that changed my life. Now, before we get into the rankings, I need to explain how I'm scoring these, because a lot of people will tell you a business is good without ever telling you what good actually means, right? So every model gets judged on four things. Number one is going to be the startup cost. How much money do you actually need to begin? Because most of you watching this are working a 9 to 5, maybe supporting family, and you don't have, 10 grand sitting around to test an idea. Number two is going to be the halal compliance. This is the most important one for me. Is the model actually halal? Not maybe if you structure it a certain way, not scholars really differ on it. I mean, clearly halal where you can sleep at night. Number three is going to be scalability. Can you grow this beyond trading your time for money? Because if you stop working and the money stops, that's not a business. That's a job you literally built for yourself. And number four is going to be the income potential. What can you realistically make in your first 6 to 12 months if you actually put the work in? Not the best case some gurus will show you, the realistic case. And one more thing before we start, every single model on this list, people have made real money from every one of them. I'm not here to tell you that they're all scams. I am here to rank them honestly, because a model working for someone else does not mean that it is the right one for you to start, right? There's 5 tiers, so let's just start straight from the bottom. So D tier, these are the models that either put your deen at risk or put your money at risk, or both. First one we have is Forex and crypto trading. And I can talk about this one honestly because I did it. And let me say this first, people do make money trading. I'm not denying that. There are traders out there making serious money, but I was in trading before any of this and I left. Not because, I was losing money. I left because I couldn't stand in front of Allah and say with full confidence that what I was doing was clean. The leverage and the contracts, there's too many question marks. And here's the principle I live by now. If something is in a grey area and there's a halal alternative, I'd rather take that. But even if you put the deen side away for a second, right? Look at it purely as a business. The overwhelming majority of traders, they lose money. You're not building anything. There's no clients, there's no skill, there's no asset. You stop trading, everything stops. Most people aren't investing, they're gambling with the charts open. Second, we have drop shipping. Now, this one hurts because I didn't just try it, I lost money on it, right? I was 16 years old, right? 2 to 3 grand was quite a lot to me. And I put that all into drop shipping and just watched it disappear, all onto ads. And to be fair, there are people who have built genuine businesses for dropshipping, real brands like that started as dropshipping, and it can work. But on top of losing the money, I was sitting there questioning whether the model was even halal as well. Selling products I'd never touched with photos that didn't really match, shipping times that I couldn't control. The thing that nobody will tell you about dropshipping is that the margins are terrible. You're dependent on suppliers who don't care about you. Let's say someone orders something, they wait 3 weeks, they receive something that looks nothing like the picture, and now you're drowning in refunds and chargebacks. That's not a business, that's a customer service nightmare with extra steps. Now let's move on to C tier. These are models that are halal, they make real money, I'd never disrespect them, but they have a ceiling. And that ceiling shows up faster than you think. First of all, we have Amazon FBA. And let me be clear, people have built life-changing income on Amazon. That is a fact. There are sellers doing millions a year. On paper, it sounds great. You find a product, you ship it to Amazon, they handle delivery, you collect. The reality is you need serious money up front. 3, 4, 5 grand minimum for stock before you've made a single sale. Most people watching this don't really have that to risk on a product that might not sell. And then even when it works, Amazon owns everything. Your account, your reviews, your customer relationship, one policy change, one competitor undercutting you, one suspension email, and your income is gone overnight. And I know personally a few brothers who were making good money on Amazon. One of their accounts got banned and the other competitor, bought all of his stock and returned it damaged, and there's nothing you could do about that. Second, we have reselling. And I'll be honest with you, I actually do this myself on the side, here and there, not all the time, but buying items, right? And flipping them for profit. It's completely halal. It's honest trade, probably one of the oldest businesses in the world. And it teaches you real fundamentals, sourcing, pricing, negotiating, dealing with buyers. And I'll be straight with you why it's C tier. Every single pound you make, you had to go and find it. You had to go find, buy, you have to list it, you have to package it, and post it. There's no recurring income. There's no client paying you every month. You start every week from zero. It's a brilliant side hustle, don't get me wrong. Like, it will put extra money in your pocket, but it's not a long-term business you build a life on. If you're doing it right now, keep going, right? But understand it's a stepping stone. It's not really the main destination, but you can do as like a side hustle. Now, I just want to pause before we get to the models that actually change lives. I want you to notice something. Every model so far has the same problem, same disease, I guess. Either the platform owns you or your time owns you. Take you out of the equation or take the platform away and everything collapses, right? Now, The models from here upwards are different. They're built on skills nobody can take from you and relationships no algorithm can delete. That's the difference between making money and building a business. Now, B tier, genuinely good models. It's halal, is scalable, real income, but each one has a catch that keeps it out of A tier. First of all, we have SMMA, social media marketing agency, right? This can be running ads, managing social media, SEO for businesses. It's completely halal. There's good money. Let me say it straight. Some of the biggest agencies in the world are single service agencies and they print money. This model has made a lot of people wealthy, and I actually tried this one too with 2 partners and it fell apart because we couldn't execute together. But the model itself has a deeper problem, and it's this, right? You're a one-trick agency. You offer one service, so the moment a client finds someone cheaper or an AI tool starts doing what you do, you're replaceable. And the clients leave single service agencies fast because there's nothing anchoring them to you. You fixed one problem, and once it's fixed or once someone fixes it cheaper, what do they need you for? Remember that word, one service, it matters later. Second, we have the influencer marketing agency. So this is where you connect brands with influencers and you take a cut of the deal. The brand wants exposure, the influencer has the audience, you broker and manage the relationship and take a cut. And there are agencies doing, millions in this space. Genuinely, it is a real model with real money in it. But there's 2 things that keep it a B tier for me. The first is saturation in a small market. So this model exploded over the last few years, and now there are thousands of agencies chasing the same pool of brands. And the thing that most people miss, unlike general marketing where every business on every high street is a potential client for you, influencer marketing only works for specific types of brands. E-commerce, apps, consumer products. The market has a size limit built into it. So you have a growing number of agencies fighting inside a market that is not growing with them. That maths gets worse every year. The second one is specific to us as Muslim. Finding influencers whose content is actually halal is genuinely difficult. Most influencers, they're going to use music in every single video. A huge portion of the highest performing niches are built around women showing themselves. Fashion, beauty, lifestyle content, full of free mixing and things you cannot stand behind. So your already small pool of brands shrinks again because now you can only work with a fraction of influencers whose content aligns with your deen. You're either going to compromise on what you're willing to promote or you operate with a tiny slice of the market. Neither of those is a position I would want to build a long-term business on. Thirdly, we have info products, selling your knowledge as a course, an ebook, templates, guides. And this is halal and honorable when it's done right. If you're a qualified personal trainer, for example, sell a structured training program. If you're an accountant, sell a tax guide for small businesses. If you speak 3 languages, sell a language course. If you're a wedding photographer, teach photography. Real knowledge from real experience packaged so someone else can shortcut years of learning. It's beautiful, and people have built serious businesses from this. Some of the biggest names online started with one good course. But there is a catch, right? 1, you need genuine expertise first. But there is a catch. 2 things. 1, you need genuine experience first, which most people skip, and that's exactly why the internet is drowning in rubbish courses from people who've never done the thing. Number 2, selling info products is a marketing business, not a knowledge business. Creating the course is like, 5-10% of the work, and getting anyone to see it is the other 90%. Without an audience or serious ad spend, the best course in the world sells 0 copies. And that is for me the B tier. Pick one of these and go all in. You can absolutely win. People are winning with all 3 right now. One has a replaceability problem, one has a saturation and halal problem, and one has a distribution problem. Now, if you're watching this thinking, okay, Yusuf, look, none of these feel right. Stay with me because the next 2 tiers is, this is where it gets serious. Now, A tier, these models check nearly every box. It's halal, low startup costs, high income, and they build on skills that compound. First, high ticket sales. This is where you become, for example, a closer for someone else's high ticket offer. It can be a coaching program, a mentorship, an agency, a marketing agency, usually $2,000 and up. Your job is simple. The business generates the leads, books the calls, and then you get on a call with a prospect and close the deal. And from there, you take a commission on every sale you close. The thing that most people don't realize is closing high ticket is easier than selling cheap. The leads coming to you have already watched the content. They already know about the offer, already booked the call themselves. The business might already be running ads. You're not convincing strangers. You're guiding people who already are interested over the line. And believe me, the skill of closing, once you have it, you literally eat forever. It transfers to every business you will ever run. I can tell you right now for a fact, no AI is replacing a human who can sit with someone on a call, understand their situation, handle their concerns, and then close a 5K deal. right? And there are closers out there right now making serious money doing exactly this. Second, we have appointment setting. This is the entry level version of the same world, right? You reach out to prospects, you qualify them, you book them onto sales calls for someone else's business. You can literally start, I don't know, next week, and it teaches you the single most valuable skill in business. For a young person with no money, no portfolio, this is honestly one of the best starting points that exists. And people are making genuinely good money from both of these right now. Full-time incomes, some of them, genuinely serious money. Thirdly, we have consulting. If you have real expertise, marketing, operations, sales, AI implementation, businesses will pay you just to tell them what to do. Not do it, but just, advising them. The margins are basically 100%. There's no fulfillment, no delivery team, just your knowledge. Consultants in a tight niche charge, 4 to 5K a month per client with a handful of clients. But the catch is you need years of proven expertise first. So it's an A-tier model you grow into. It's not one that you're going to start with. Now, here's what I want you to think carefully, because this is the part I told you back in detail. If you're doing high ticket sales or appointment setting, who are you usually doing it for? Let's say, for example, an agency, a marketing agency, a coaching business, you book the calls or you close the deals and the agency pays you a commission. And what's that commission? 5%, 10%, maybe 15 or 20% if you're really good. So a 3K a month client that you qualified, that you closed, you're going to take home a few hundred. The agency is going to keep the rest. So ask yourself the most obvious question. If you can find the client, you can close the client, why are you handing 80 to 95% of the money to someone else? And that question is exactly what S-tier answers. The all-in-one agency, the model I actually run, the model that took me from a tire fitter to a 6-figure agency, completely halal from zero. So let me explain this properly. An all-in-one agency is a business that solves problems for other businesses. That is the simplest way to put it. Every business out there has problems. They are not getting enough customers. They are missing calls. Their website is outdated. They have no social media presence. They are drowning in admin work that could be automated. Every single one of those problems is costing them money and they know it. So you're the person who identifies the problem, solves it for them. In exchange, they're going to pay you every single month. Instead of offering one service like the SMMA guys, you have over 30 services under one roof: web design, ads, SEO, social media, lead generation, AI systems, CRMs, automations. Whatever the business needs, you have a solution for it. One agency, there's one relationship, and it's just one invoice. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would a business trust someone who offers everything? Doesn't that just sound like a jack of all trades, master of none? The answer is because you're not walking in offering everything. You walk in, you diagnose their specific problem like a doctor, you diagnose before you prescribe, and you present one solution to that one problem. The business owner doesn't need to see a menu of 30 services. They see someone who understood the exact situation. They came in with the exact fix. The 30 services are for you, not for them. It means whatever problem you find, you always have the right solution to offer. And once you've solved that first problem, you've proven yourself. And that's when they trust you with the next one and then the next one. And that's also exactly why clients stay with us long term. We identify their problem, package an offer around it, and we sell the outcome. Not the service, the outcome. The business owner isn't paying for social media posts, they're paying to be fully booked. They're not paying for a chatbot, they're paying to never miss an inquiry again. When you solve real problems and they can see the results, why would they ever leave? And the mechanic that makes it S tier, you don't do the technical work yourself, right? The fulfillment. You find the client, you diagnose the problem, and you close the deal. And then you outsource delivery to skilled freelancers who are better at the technical side than you'll ever need to be. The client pays you, for example, 2K a month. The freelancer is going to cost you 500 and you keep in 1500. That's 75%. Not a 10% commission, not 15%, 75%. The same skill, you'll be using as a setter or a closer, finding and closing clients, except now the client is yours. The relationship is yours. The margin is yours. So that setter booking calls for someone else's agency is one decision away from literally running his own. Which brings me to the single most important thing in this entire business. The main skill, the only skill that truly matters here is learning how to sell. Sales, the ability to have conversations, that's it. You don't need to know how to code, how to build websites, how to run ads. You need to know how to speak to a business owner, understand their world, identify their problem and present a solution that they can't say no to. Everything else gets outsourced. Sales is a skill that pays for everything, and it's a skill anyone watching this can learn. Now let's run it against the criteria. The startup cost is zero. You just need a phone, a laptop, and an internet connection. I'm assuming most of you guys have that. It's completely halal, right? You're solving real problems for real businesses through honest trade. You're not going to sell them a service that they don't need. We identify the problems first. Now, scalability, every client is recurring monthly income. You're never starting the month from zero like the reseller is. Now, in terms of the income potential, I'm not going to throw you fantasy numbers at you, right? Realistically, if you're consistent with your outreach, you should be able to get your first client in month 2 or 3. 500 to 2.5k a month, and then by month 6, 1 to 5k, and then by month 12 you should be earning around 5 to 10k a month. That's just the honest timeline. I'm not going to say you're going to make 10k in 1 month or 2 months. The thing that most people won't tell you, cold outreach is hard. You need to talk to business owners. It's uncomfortable. You will get rejected. People will hang up on you. And the ones who make it are not more talented than you. They just made more contacts. 100 cold calls a day while everyone else makes 20. Discipline beats talent every single time. And one more thing for us specifically, the AI market is heading towards $2 trillion. Businesses everywhere are desperate for AI implementation. Most of them have made it a priority and barely any have actually done it. And that gap is just sitting there. Wallahi, I believe we should be the ones filling it, building halal wealth from it, not sitting back watching everyone else profit from an opportunity that we're more than capable of leading. And by the way, this is the model that allowed me to change my life, leave my 9 to 5, hit my first 10k a month, allowed me to provide for my parents and live by my deen. If you're interested in learning more about this, I have a link to another video down below that explains it in depth and how you can get started. So that's the tier list. And listen, I know some of you have been stuck at this exact stage for months. You're researching, you're comparing, watching video after video. Look, I was there too. But the clarity does not come from more research. It comes from starting. You just need to start and take action. Pick your model, keep it halal, and take the first step this week. May Allah grant every single one of you watching this success. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.